What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? It's Monday, May 18th at 10 a.m. New week. We're going to do a wrap up show today. We're going to talk about the weekend that was, as we do every Monday. We have a lot to get into. There were a lot of fight cards. We're going to go over our wins, talk a little bit about all the fights. I'll take your questions. We'll do a little bit of a look ahead this weekend because we got the Egypt card. And hopefully, everyone's doing well. We had a great weekend. I'm gonna go over all of our tickets. I'll bring them up on the screen. We'll take. Hopefully, you guys. This is definitely a bounce back weekend. We hit for the 15th straight week a dog of the week with Kuse in the rematch in South Africa. So that was a great win. We hit a lot. We almost hit everything. The only money line bet I missed was a European double, and on that double, I had Hergovich paired with Chukachan, and we know that Patty beat Chukachan. And I took Karen to win. He didn't win. He lost. Those judges should be ashamed. The judge, one of the judges gave it a draw. From I was boxing, I didn't see the whole fight. From what I saw and what I read, it seemed Patty beat that ass. But if you guys are a JSB insider, you'll know how confident I am in a fighter with how many times you see them on a ticket. The only action I had on Karen Chukajan was a half unit euro double, and that was on the money line, and that was the only money line bet I lost. So that and gratefully that was our first fight, and then we pretty much went undefeated. We had a great week. We cashed in 7 tickets. You know what I'm saying? JSB insiders, we back up for sure. We'll go over all of it, guys. Pin in the comments section. Join our Johnny Says Boxing VIP betting Discord. We just surpassed 500 VIPs in there. You could either enter on YouTube, become a JSB insider here, or join our Patreon. You get all of my picks, all of my parlays, the tickets before the fights start, so you can see all my action. And then, more importantly, you become part of our amazing betting community. It's not just boxing, it's MMA, basketball. We got Game 7 in Detroit starting in a couple minutes. I'm going to have it on in the background. We'll see if Cleveland can get it done, but I don't have a lot of hope. You know, I'm a hopeless Cleveland sports fan. So I'm going to leave that link pinned. It'll be in the comment section. It's a couple bucks a month. I'm going to remove it. And then let's get to work. We're going to talk a little bit about what the weekend that was, okay? And then I'll get to your question. Just let me rant here a little bit. So the 7 tickets that hit, and this I think what's on the screen is important. What I've written out there for you. We cashed out 7 winners and extended our record of streak of 15 weeks in a row picking an underdog. The asterisk is important because there's a lot of guys online who try to give you your bets, and a lot of guys online and social media guys who they do a lot of outrageous video content with them screaming. That's not who I am. I'm not an influencer. So I don't do this to be famous. I don't do this to be an influencer. I do this for the love of the game. You're never going to see me with edits and making weird faces and throwing money around. It's just not in my DNA. And this is why I put that on the screen. That's why I wrote that. Every ticket parlay I give you guys, it's plus money, and you guys see my tickets. I think that's important. I have to reiterate that because the insiders know that I'm in the trenches with you. I have action with you. Last week, I took a freaking beating. The worst week of 2026 for me. You guys don't need to hear that. But this was a great bounce back week for us. Great. We needed it. And I'm glad that everybody stuck through it after May was rough. May was rough, but it turned into great. We flipped it on its head yesterday. And the way we did that, our dog of the week, we took Kuse to beat Jerusalem in South Africa, a plus 145. And it's not like we're just throwing stuff on the wall. Hopefully it sticks. We broke this fight down. We knew about it. We watched the first one. We knew that the first one was close in Jerusalem's home country, the Philippines, and we knew that the rematch was in South Africa. Kuse looked great. He took lessons from the first fight, and he beat him convincingly this time. He did get dropped, though, in the 11th, and I was sweating. All right, number 2 is our knockout prop, MGJ. I told you guys, man, MGJ, and he fought Lee McGregor. That's we always win money betting against Lee McGregor. We talked about Lee McGregor being a domestic guy, a 126 guy fighting at 135, and we rolled the dice and played Gomez by knockout. Got him at plus 190. Our top ranked parlay, you know about the ace side, plus 115. Let's go. There was some sweat going on though with our Dominican guy. So and then MVP. These are for the MMA guys. We did an MVP MMA parlay plus 193. We did the Rousey round one submission plus 135. Our prop of the week with Keyshawn on points hit at plus 155. I know a lot of you guys were liking Keyshawn by knockout, but you know my reasons, and it hit. And then our quarterly parlay that we launched in April is live. So yeah, this is the way they came through. Gomez Jr. And then you can see the dates when I place my bets too. So that's important. So I placed the Michael Gomez Jr. bet on Thursday. I placed the Kusei on Wednesday. The Ronda Rousey was on Friday because I gave that bet in the Discord. I placed Keyshawn last Wednesday. And then the two parlays were both on Wednesday and Thursday. And a lot of that has to do with when they're giving us options. Like right now, if you look at the books, we're only getting like 5 fights. But guys, I've already given you one ticket. Check the Patreon, check the members only section on YouTube. I've already given you one ticket for this coming week in Egypt. It's a 2-leg method of victory. I really like it. I snatched it early. I had to. I really like it. It's a plus 118. So from there, I'm gonna say what's up to everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing well. We got what's up, Tay? 3338 in the house. Fresh BX teamwork, teamwork, mate. We out here working. What's up, Johnny? The jersey. Stay there. Yeah, one of our JSB insiders, King of Fitness. You know, I have to. So what I'm gonna do is I have another filming studio. So he played for Maryland, and I'm a Buckeye. So shout out to the Big Ten. Terrapins, Opara, dope man. So what I'm thinking of when I move space, because I'm gonna move space, I'm gonna mount it because I have a bunch of stuff in the back, old boxing, memorabilia, sporting memorabilia, and I'll put this in the back somewhere. But appreciate it, man. Maryland, Big Ten in the house. Let's go. Them Cavs led Detroit. I know, bro. I'm not happy about Cleveland letting 6. So the rumor on the street in Cleveland land was that everybody's sick. So the rumors I was hearing after Game 5 in Detroit, even like Sam Merrill was sick, Dean Wade was sick, Coach Atkinson was sick Game 5, and then by Game 6, I guess the entire locker room had a stomach bug. They freaking played like it, bro. I want to see. I'm really looking forward to the series out west with Wemby taking on OKC. Dude. This past year, I've become a big Steph Castle fan. Steph Castle, dude. You watch this kid play. You know, doesn't flop, mean, gritty, got an attitude. 21 years old, dude. San Antonio is like 5 years ahead of schedule. They're like 21 years old all around the board. So I want to see how and San Antonio matches up really well with OKC. In New York, man, the Knicks are playing really well. Cavs about to play. The Cavs about to play. You think they win? My father always said, you guys know the end of this. Johnny, bet with your wallet, not with your heart. So I hope Cleveland wins, but I didn't bet on them. I did give you guys a prop play though. So the game starts. I have a plus 3,500 for you. So 100 gets you 3,500. It's a 4-legger. If you want to put it in, the game starts in 3 minutes. Donnie to score 30, Harden to score 20, Mobley to score 15, Big Dick Max to score 10, plus 3,500. But I didn't take Cleveland on the line. Let's go, boxing fan. 10 minutes in, a little bit of a slower chat. We had a massive weekend, man. Whenever it's a massive weekend, in terms of, hitting our bets. The next stream is always a bit slow. If you guys are winning, if you're supporting me, however you can, like the chat, subscribe to the channel, super chat if you can. I know, money is funny out there. I don't ever expect any of you guys to tip if you can't. So just being part of the community is enough. You guys support me like that. It means so much to me. We're growing. August will be a year. We're approaching our year. We still got June and July, so 8 weeks. It'd be cool to get to 600 VIPs in the first year. I didn't think we'd ever get to 500, so I appreciate all the support. Brandon, I'm taking the JSB live stream. Johnny's random singing breaks. I'm taking the over. Uh-oh. I got a lot going in my head, Brandon. You know that. There's a lot going on. Sometimes if the singing if it pops out, it pops out. It's not planned. Oh, I'm so nervous. Game 7, boys. They're doing their intros right now. And you know what? Jalen Duran, Game 6, decided to play like Jalen Duran. That really killed us. Sub John 8 bar from Keyshawn's body slam. I think he would have got the stoppage. Yeah, that was a crazy body slam. Was really sweating the last 2 rounds. The clinching was predictable. I was surprised he didn't turn around. You know what? There was a moment in the 11th where you started to see the referee kind of peeking his head in. And guys, anytime you play a method of victory prop, whether you're playing the knockout, the points are way more stressful. The knockout is way more annoying. This is how I differentiate the two. If I'm playing a knockout prop, I played a knockout prop this week, and usually I give you 1 knockout prop at plus money, 1 points. We hit both of them this week. Michael Gomez Jr., the knockout prop. I thought Lee McGregor won the first round, and that was kind of to be expected. Lee McGregor was the smaller guy. He needed to get out and prove a point, but he just didn't have the pop to move Michael Gomez Jr. So you saw from rounds 2, 3, 4 where that fight was trending, and it was almost like a matter of time. But even so, it still kind of dipped into round 5, round 6, round 7, and you're kind of getting sort of like nervous about it. But, it came, and then we're happy. It just, when you're betting on the knockout prop and the fight goes long, it's annoying. When you're betting on points, it's stressful. Like, the most stress I've been this year betting was taking Brandon Glanton on points against Jaya Pataya. Rightfully so. It was a great hit for our team. But when you're watching Glanton versus Apataya for 12 rounds, dude, and you need it to go the distance, it's stressful. Same thing. Round 11, you started seeing the ref peeking his head, looking at Albright, and I'm thinking, man, you better back up. You better back up. Oh, you better let. And then round 12, it's like, by round 12, you better let this fight finish. Only surprise with the Hrgovic stoppage was the DAZN poll showing 56%. That's insane. Guys, that's people. Look, I had very limited action on Hrgovic. I had him in our quarterly poll. I'll bring that up. I guess I didn't show you guys that one. We do a quarterly poll. This one was from like late April to late June. Even though Abdullah fights first week of July, I still added him to this poll. This one. So this is the plus 492 we built together in April. So we did this together on the live stream. If you guys are playing it, it's a 9-leg plus 492. Bumgardner, Inoue, Benny, Phillip, and Keyshawn were on that ticket. So now we move forward, and we got Hamza, who's fighting this weekend, Stephanie Hahn, who's fighting the following weekend, along with Shock, and then Abdullah Mason, who fights in July. So June, there's nothing for June, but this one's still alive. So Hrgovic was on this parlay for me, and then that Euro double that burned with Chukachan losing to Patty. What's up, Cody? Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. What's up, user? The team. The game has started. I'm going to be kind of going back and forth. We need Cleveland to start hot here. we can't have James turn the ball over, and Mobley scores a bucket. Nice little assist from Donnie to Mobley. Glad you like Joe. Oh, you're the best, bro. Come on, the Terrapins, baby. I lived in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for 2 summers playing baseball in my early 20s, and I became friends with a couple boys from Maryland. And Maryland crab cakes, Baltimore, the Harbor Place, Phillips Seafood. Let's go. Detroit starts out with a 3. That little that little shooting guard killed us in Game 6. Could Mobley misses the 3? I always want to call Evan Mobley Coutinho Mobley. Do you think Keyshawn can beat Dip? It's a great question. It's a great question. We know that Keyshawn doesn't like cutting weight. He said after the fight he's going to go to 47. We'll see if that's the case. I like this version of Donovan. Donovan dishing the ball, 2 assists. Cleveland's up 4-3. Been a Spurs fan since 2012. Same, dude. Same. I'm not a guy who like I can't ever switch cities. I will always and forever be a Cleveland sports fan, probably my own demise. But I do like players. And Steph Castle's a beast. Just the way Steph plays the game, how aggressive. D Mitch for 3, misses badly. Fresh BX, I'm not gonna lie, that OKC is a real finals. That's gonna be a series. Yeah, don't sleep on the Knicks though, man. And this is coming from an Eastern Conference guy. Don't sleep on the Knicks. I think the Knicks, with their style of play, with their veteran leadership, I think they get the thing that the Knicks are going to bring into the West is experience, man. I think that experience in a finals definitely plays a major factor. And there will be moments in that. This is if the Knicks get out of the East, which it looks like they're going to. Julius in the house. I like Torres money line. I like the odds right now. I already have. Guys, I think our money this weekend is going to be made on props. And 1. Cleveland up 8-3. Nice little start by Cleveland. They got to get out to a hot start. Our owner, Dan Gilbert, Cleveland's owner, bust out 25 buses of Cleveland season ticket holders to Detroit, all paid for. So shout out to Dan Gilbert. Our city loves basketball. Our city loves sports. It's good to see an owner of a pro sports team give it back to the fans. Yeah, so I like Tor right now. Let's talk a little bit about the props this coming weekend. The Usyk knockout isn't paying anything. I think the money will be made playing an over or under on Usyk versus Rico. So, that's a prop I have my eye open for. Haruta versus May Solomon. And I know May. I just think she's going to be in over her head. She was getting beat against Jazzy Parr. She was losing that fight until Jazzy ran out of gas in like the 4th or 5th, and May, as a 6-1 dog, stopped her. So, there's a Donnie. There's a prop I have my eyes on there, and it might not be points. We'll see. I'm already playing Jack Catterall on points. I think he outclasses Giasov. There's nothing in Giasov's tape that I like. I've watched Giasov's career. Dude, this kid is killing us, man. Detroit has his number 24, the shooting guard who played in the G League earlier in the year, torching us. So yeah, I already have action on the Catterall points play. That Egypt card has some good props. We're not getting them yet, so we'll wait. Hamza by stoppage. Hamza Shiraz. Can you repeat the Cavs bet? I'm sorry, I just got it, but the game just started if you're into live betting. Donovan scoring 30, James Harden scoring 20, Mobley 15, Big Dick Max 10. Max Strus. I thought Lee McGregor was going to have more power moving up. No, man, Lee McGregor is a guy we've covered. This is why I think it's really important. Our community understands this. I saw a couple YouTube content creators making their predictions last week, and they were saying Lee McGregor was going to win, and I watched the breakdowns, but they never mentioned weight class. They never mentioned Lee McGregor fought at 122 before. They never mentioned that Lee McGregor took fights at 130 and then gets stopped at 126, and then against Nathaniel, who isn't a puncher, and then takes this fight at 135. Disregard the Nathaniel Collins stoppage at 26. What does all this tell you? floating from 22 to 30 to 26 to now 35. It tells you you're talking about a guy who's still figuring things out. He doesn't know who he is as a fighter. When I'm listening to content creators breaking down fights and giving their prediction, nobody's always right. But those sort of stats need to be spoken about. We talked about this. I told you guys in the Discord. The most important stat going into McGregor versus Gomez Jr. was going to be that fight being at 135. We talked about it. Now, I missed on the Chukachin fight versus Patty, but what did I tell you? The most important fact going into that fight was the judges in Germany, and we almost got a robbery. So the little things are very important, especially weight classes in boxing. It's very important, and it worked out well for us. And it was one of those ones that went our way. They don't always go our way. They go our way a lot. It's 8-7 Cleveland. Hamza stoppage. I agree. The odds aren't that good though. So you're gonna have to look. Our community, if you're new here, we're a plus money community. So we're not gonna put action on a ticket. James Harden for 3. Harden and Mitchell start the game missing shots. No turnovers yet. Big Dick Max for 3. Nope. Cleveland's not hitting their 3s so far. They're getting offensive rebounds. Big Dick Max for 3. Jesus, Cleveland's just bricking. So what I was saying is all of our parlays that we play that we have action on, they're all plus money. The Hamza stoppage isn't – it was kind of like if you were going to play the Brian Norman stoppage. That's why you didn't see it on any of my tickets, because the odds weren't good. Over 206.5 tonight. Well, 5.5 in, it's 8-7. Cleveland's up 1. Neither team is playing exceptionally well. A lot of missed threes on Cleveland's end. Detroit already has 3 missed free throws. Usyk on points is plus 500. My issue with that Usyk on points play is Rico Verhoeven is a dog. He's a living legend. He's a kickboxer. He's a punt. He wasn't known for being a knockout artist. He was just a really good kicker as well with a good backhand. The thing with kickboxers is they're square. The feet and the topography of where the fight takes place versus boxing is way different. So the geography of a kickboxing fight and the geography of a boxing fight is totally different. A kickboxer will fight you in a phone booth. They're trying to low kick you. They're trying to check. They're trying to set up their hands, right? So Enrico's massive, 6'5", 6'6". The bigger dude. He's 37 now, I think, and I think Usyk's similar age. But what I'm seeing though is I like, because some of you guys are getting this over or under prop. Some boys are putting their picks out saying they like the under 3.5. I'm like, no. I think Usyk, the time he's spent away, the respect he's going to have for Rico's power will take him a little while. I don't think Usyk will be in a hurry to get Rico out of it. Rico's going into this fight thinking he's going to win. This is an icon in another combat sport. This isn't Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. Just no shade on Francis. Francis is even though he was an MMA champ, he wasn't as seasoned. You know what I'm saying? He due to his upbringing, he didn't have the benefit of being a lifelong martial artist. He picked up boxing, I think, when he went to France as a refugee. Anyway, Rico Verhoeven is an icon in kickboxing. I remember watching him 10, 15 years ago. And he's a Dutch kickboxing, which is a really aggressive version. Think Ramon Dekkers, one of the GOATs in Dutch kickboxing. So Rico's not coming to roll over. It's not a paycheck. He thinks he's going to win. Massive card, massive opportunity. To think that Rico could hang with Usyk for 12 rounds, he's going to get hit a lot. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. You bet it. Last night, the UFC, I did 2 UFC bets and 2 Netflix MMA bets. My 2 Netflix bets won the parlays. My 2 UFC bets lost. I did a UFC dog. I picked Melky on the money line. He lost. And then I did a UFC double. I took Chaos to win, and Chaos won. And then I paired Chaos with another guy who lost. So, didn't go my way in the UFC. Yeah, Rico, exactly. He just gets hit way too much. No distance, Kiki Torres. And so when you're looking at Kiki Torres, that'll be my first upload, Kiki versus Sanchez. But when you're looking at statistics, Frank Sanchez is a guy who throws 20 punches around. He's not a volume guy. He wants to counterbox you. He wants to land that good shot. He's not an active guy. Kiki Torres, even though he's undersized as a heavyweight, a lot of volume, a lot of speed, a lot of pressure, super aggressive. Right now, I think he averages about 50 punches per round. So when we're looking at just output and volume, Kiki Torres is doubling up. Kiki Torres is one of my favorite American heavyweights. At 26 years old, this guy is not even in his physical prime. Good amateur career, aggressive, great win over Guido. And Guido's a tough out. Not a one-punch knockout guy, but he's a swarmer. He could drown Sanchez. But Kiki's going to have to be weary of Sanchez's power. So I don't know my prop yet on that. Harden for 3 and 1. And they call defensive 3 seconds. They call a foul on Harden on a put. Damn, I haven't seen them call the push off. I haven't seen them call a push off all series. Harden nails the 3, but it's no good. They call it offensive foul. Crazy call. If it weren't for that BS, Karen would have gotten the gift. Bro, we played the gift, didn't we? I told this is one of the things. So it's why we didn't have Karen on all of our tickets. We knew what to expect. I thought Karen was going to win. Karen didn't fight well at all. Patty fought really well. Whoever in our Discord asked me about Dean Wade to make a 3, hopefully you took that bet. I didn't take the bet. Dean Wade just did a 3. Dean Wade he makes my life miserable as a Cleveland fan. So yeah, we almost got that German decision. Dude, Duran. Those little nuances be key. You don't know how bad I was kicking myself for not taking Odie by knockout versus Carlos. Yeah. I missed that one. 1 year layoff, moving up in weight. It's all about the little nuances. You know, Harden baits Levert into fouling him at 40 feet, and Harden's going to the line for 3 free throws. So Usyk's 39, Rico's 37. Frank Sanchez knee will give out by round 6. Frank Sanchez is not 33. And I'm not trying to be controversial. They say Frank Sanchez is 33. You must be out your goddamn mind. Dean Wade out here balling. Let's pull up the odds since we're already here. We're 30 minutes in. We got 40 of you savages in here. Like the video. Super chat if you want any money. Subscribe to the channel. Join our Discord. Mostly all the boys here are in the Discord. It's a couple bucks a month. We got 5 minutes left in the first. Cleveland's up 13-9. 13-11. I think it's going to be one of these nip and tuck game 7s. Going down to the wire. Stressing Detroit and Cleveland fans out. And what are you doing dribbling the ball, Jared Allen? Tie ball game. Timeout, Cleveland. Let's check the odds. All right, guys, so this is the action we're getting so far this week. Not a lot, but decent. This Safar versus Peralta fight's interesting. The odds are interesting. I haven't done film on it. I put a poll up on my Instagram. Let's see what the results are. So Peralta Safar right now, 1,800 people voted. 62% are saying Safar. 38% are saying Peralta. If you're not following me on Instagram, Johnny Stofko, follow me and just say, hey, Johnny, it's so-and-so from YouTube. I'll follow you back. I do a lot of interactive stuff on my Instagram story, and I post a lot of our content there as well. So, Sarafa, adult, 49% return on the money line. Not bad. Amari Jones, I think Jones stops Galtieri. So, I like the prop when it drops. Amari. I just think Mizuki's going to be too much for May. Shout out to May for fighting her way into this fight. She was a 6-1 dog against Jazzy. Not many people even had her on her radar, and may stop Jazzy Parr. Haruta is just next level. Haruta's you're gonna have to be at your best for the entire fight to beat her. So I don't props aren't up yet. Torres, let's see if props are up on Kiki. So Torres stoppage right now is plus 120. Torres on points plus 185. The thing about Torres, if you're playing the stoppage, he is an aggressive guy. He got made, he paid for that aggression in the amateurs once. He got stopped once in the amateurs, but he was 18 years old, running in, being ultra aggressive, trying to be the hammer, and he got stopped. It happens. It's boxing. He's learned a lot from that. He's still ultra aggressive. You know what I mean? Sanchez does have power. You got to be weary if you're playing the knockout for Kiki of there being a moment in the fight where both fighters come to an unspoken agreement. If Torres is obviously out, he's going to outpoint him. He's going to outvolume him. He's going to outpressure him. Will Sanchez's power be enough to have the respect for Kiki to not go for the stoppage? Will Sanchez's body hold up? You guys mentioned his knees. He might be 40 years old. His box rec says he's 33. He might be 53 years old. We don't know. 48 for sure. Safar distance. That's a good fight. Maybe 50. King. Yeah, let's get the likes up, boys. Any initial thoughts on Crocker versus Liam Xander? Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on both of these fights, man. It's looking like Patty Donovan swerved Liam Perro on purpose. This is when you think about what just transpired, all Patty Donovan has on his mind is revenge. He gets the mic after beating Chukachan. First thing he says is Lewis Crocker. He was scheduled to fight Liam Paro in Australia. I'm not saying he thought he was going to lose to Paro, but him knowing that he said he had a sickness, and then he instantly signs to fight Karen with the winner fighting Crocker. Now, Crocker still has to fight Paro, but I think that Donovan wants to fight Crocker with or without a belt. That's what it seems to me. He wants his get back. His get back. Will Crocker beat Liam? No. I think Liam Paro is too good for Liam Crocker. I think Liam Paro is too skilled. I think Patty Donovan would have been a better fight for fans. Oh God. Sam Merrill just took a charge. Probably lost some teeth. Jeez. Offensive foul. Cleveland up 16-15. And then Xander versus Giron. The more I think I'm overthinking this. I think I'm overthinking Xander versus Giron. I think Giron is going to showcase on him. I initially thought that all of Xander's, and until I do my upload, I'm probably going to go back and forth, but my initial read was Xander's little things, the sort of minutia of his technique, his versatility in going from offense to defense, how structurally sound he is technically with not really getting hit clean a lot. I initially was like, Xander's super live here. But this is Jaron Ennis, man. I think Jaron Ennis, I rate Jaron Ennis top 10. I think he might make it look easy, man. We'll see. It's not my official pick. Yeah. We got some good fights coming up. Paro won't be plus money. Liam Paro will be the favorite against Lewis Crocker. Oh, it's 50-50. Wow. This is crazy, mate. Right now, Paro it's 50-50. I don't think this is a 50-50 fight. I think Liam Paro, I think he's hands down the better boxer. Yeah, if I'm going to play Boots, if you do play Boots, you play Boots by stoppage. That's the fun play, right? If you play Boots, you play Boots by stoppage. Boots money line, not worth it. If you're playing money line, you take Xander. Guys, we are value bettors. We're intelligent, research-based boxing heads, right? We're not just going to take a guy at $1.10 and put 1,000 on it. That's not like we know. I'd much rather lose my $1,000 bet on a plus money prop than David Morrell losing as a 8-1 favorite. You know what I'm saying? I know guys, a handful of guys. Cleveland is shooting air balls from 3. 2015, big dick. I know multiple guys who lost thousands of dollars on putting Morel on their parlays. Guys, it's important for us. One of the benefits of our community isn't only the knowledge you're learning; it's learn from others. So there's a lot of lessons to learn from losses, not just from your losses, but how people operate. Because everybody gambles differently. Everybody has their own different strategy. 21-17 Cleveland. I think it's easy money for Paro. I might take that now. Like, that's crazy. I thought Liam would be the big favorite. I thought he'd be not 2-1, but like 50-50 money is insane. The thing is, he didn't look, this is the argument, and Mosby's right. And I always talk about this. Paro is an in-betweener, if you ask me, in terms of his physicality. He's not a big dude. James Harden missing free throws. Games 1 through 5, James Harden was, I think, 90% from the line. I've seen him miss 5 free throws in the last 2 games. So Paro was jumping from 40 to 47 showed us a lot. Now, granted, David Popo was a massive welterweight. Popo had fights at 160 before, and he used his physicality to make it really interesting. I mean, if that fight's in Paris, France, that Popo probably would have got the nod. Liam's face was bloodied and battered. Liam was the one who had sort of like very dicey moments. And it was all. Oh, dude, you're fouling. I hate me some Duncan Robinson. So that is the case. Crocker's kind of a long guy too. His length could trouble Liam. Ennis on points plus 260. I'm glad the boys are doing their research. Only question would be, is Lewis's size and Paro getting hit with that no-look hook? Yeah, dude. When Crocker throws his wild haymakers, I think it's bad for boxing. When you have a world champion like Lewis Crocker with his chin down, throwing these punches, I think it's bad. And one of those punches, that's why I couldn't bet on. I'm fine with losing on Patty Donovan. I'm cool with it. I couldn't bet on him. Getting dropped by Lewis Crocker by one of those punches is insane work, dude. Insane work. James Daly, IBF rehydration class, good for Liam Paro's weight. Facts. So the Duncan Robinson, whose parents named him after Tim Duncan and David Robinson, must have been Spurs fans, goes 2 for 3 from the line. Cleveland's up 22-19. Sam Merrill, another 3. 25-19. Cleveland's starting to hit their threes. There's 90 seconds left in the first. A hand on the hip is a foul. That's crazy. Yeah, the hand checking. Detroit misses their 3. As a Cavs fan, I'd like Cleveland to go to Detroit and win this game by 30. But it's not going to happen. This is a tough Detroit team. They were the number 1 seed. Donovan for 3. Money, 28-19 Cleveland. A minute left. It's a good sign when Donovan Mitchell's hitting his 3 ball. Guys, we're 40 minutes in, 45 of you in here. We peaked at 60. They don't show me how many of you fools liked it, but I think you guys can see. It'd be cool if you liked this video. If not, it's all good. I don't do anything for you guys. You treat me like chopped liver if you want. I'm kidding. Karis LeVert airballs a 3. Donnie throws it down court. Struder not scoring in game 6 killed my parlay. 33 seconds left. Cleveland's up 9. D. Mitch with the hezzy. And misses. So let's pull up some of these odds one more time. I'm gonna wrap it up. If you guys don't have any questions, it's a shorter stream. You know, we just had to do our catch-up stream of the weekend. And my attention's obviously on Game 7 with the Cavs. I want Cleveland to win. Step back 3, and Detroit hits it with 5 seconds, 28-22.